I'm so excited. I am going to share with you a new stamp set that I have designed. It is called Color Palette. Now, if you remember, the previous color theory was about looking into primary colors and mixing colors together. Now, this time I wanted you to have more of a playful approach to it and explore more of your neutrals and different sort of colors, still within the primary colors, but maybe you can mix them up and create a lot more colors than you could do in the previous stamp set. They're exactly the same sizing, and so they would work perfectly on the round block, which also, by the way, I'm bringing back. And so these will be available somewhere between middle and end of July, depending on the timings with my manufacturer. So what you get is 10 elements in this set, and apart from the fun color wheel here, you also have a few other bits. And this is a build your own stamp set, as I did the others, so you can find a way how to use them, and there are so many different possibilities. So here are just a few examples. So the smaller circles right here are these two, and you can use them inside if you wanted to create a neutral from your 3 primaries, or if you wanted to leave it plain. I personally prefer mine either plain or like this, which is a lot more fun. And yeah, so you can do loads of different things. Then I have this primary and neutral element right here, so I'm just kind of using 3 colors here and letting them bleed together, so that creates a very lovely effect with some of them. So again, that helps you to study your colors a little bit. Here is this oval that I used, also doing kind of leaving colors to move into one another and seeing how that works. Here I designed a thinner element that we don't have in the others. So there are these kind of different shapes that, if you remember the previous stamp sets, they were kind of larger. Now I thought I wanted to do something a little bit more dainty and thinner. So if you have one of those flat brushes that are quite small, I'm trying to think of an example. So something like that, it would be great swatching brush for these narrow bits. So you could just do it in sort of in one go if you wanted to. Then I have this element right here stamped 4 times to see what different ranges of the neutral I can get. So in fact, this is the same mix here, but just adding more of the other 3 colors and just kind of seeing what difference I get. And coming back to this lovely circle here with the middle is this triangle. So this triangle helps to kind of bring together the primaries. So you can see it's pointing towards here, and here. And whatever is left on the sides, I basically mix equal quantity of those 2 colors, and that's the middle color, of those 2 colors, and that's the middle color, and of these 2 colors, and that's the middle color. Just a little more kind of detailed way of doing your color wheel. And then I also had a fun play with this little circle, which is super fun. You can do smaller palettes. You could do kind of just circular little notes besides your artwork. If you didn't want to create larger swatches, you could just quickly stamp these circles and have a quick limited palette reference point. Then this larger circle actually can be used inside the circle to divide it into 2. So for instance, if you wanted to create a darker color by using a black with all those colors, you could do that. Or if you wanted to create an opaque pastel look by adding white and see how different that would look, you could do that. So there's a number of different things you could do with a circle. Here I have used it to give myself an area for stamping all of these colors here. And you could do without, you could do with, it's up to you. And then finally, this elongated petal right here I have used to create a daisy, and that was a lot of fun. Again, doing a smaller circle in the middle and then just connecting the petals, and again mixing the colors and seeing what colors I could do. So it's a lot more playful, and it sort of, you know, allows you to do different things, so many different things within just this one color palette stamp set. So that being said, the color palette, as I said before, will be available on my Etsy AlyonaCreates somewhere between middle to end of July. However, before then, when this video comes out, I will put out a few of these stamp sets which are exactly the same as the stamp sets that will be on my shop in later in July. With the only difference is that I don't have a design at the back here. So just to give you a bit of behind the scenes, what happens is when you design a clear stamp set, you want to play with it to make sure everything works. Sometimes you realize something doesn't work, then you go back to your manufacturer, you redesign that certain element and make it work. So this is how it should be done. And in this case, everything worked perfectly. I was really happy with everything. So this is how it's going to be made, and therefore this is why I don't have a design in the back. But there's nothing wrong or different to the actual color palette that will be available later in July. I will sell a few of these for a slightly reduced price, just because they're not, you know, they don't have the design at the back, but everything else is exactly the same. I will show you how to work with this stamp set closer to the time when it will be available in the large quantity on my Etsy. But for now, I just wanted to tell you, you will notice that the way I designed this this color wheel is basically I made the yellow, so oops, sorry, can't see here. The yellow is slightly bigger than everything else, so it's a double size than the others, purely because I like the visual aspect of it. Rather than having it small, it all kind of looks the same. But with the bigger primary, I feel like I'm giving myself a good starting point and a good intention to carry on this color study. And so also the other thing is this line can be used to point your triangle exactly in the right direction. However, if you don't like the line being stamped in the middle, what you can do is just when you're stamping your color wheel, just make sure you erase that line with your finger just here, and you won't have it. So it gives you options to have it with or without. I personally don't mind having it there. Like I said, it gives me a good reference point for the triangle to make everything kind of straight, but it's up to you how you would like to do it. Okay, for the Etsy update, together with this set, I'm also bringing back the color theory, doing a restock on that as well. And like I said, the acrylic blocks, they will be available again. Also, as a new product, I am now selling these little dishes. They are lightweight and they made out of air dry clay, and they are waterproof. They have been varnished a number of times, and they're this beautiful pearlescent. I'm not sure if you can pick up on the camera, but they're this beautiful pearlescent color. And so they're just nice little trinklets for keeping your, you know, little crystals. This is a smoky quartz, if you're wondering. Isn't that just beautiful? Because it's white, it kind of makes everything looks pretty. So I always keep one on my desk, but you can also use them for little mixing trays as well, because they're waterproof. I wouldn't recommend letting the watercolor sitting in these because it can stain. However, if you just, you know, want to mix some colors, that's fine. Stay away from super staining colors, would be my recommendation. And then just as soon as you're finished with your watercolors, make sure you just rinse it with warm water and dry it, and that's it. So those are little mixing watercolor dishes here. So I think that is it for the little update. So I hope you are as excited about this color palette stamp set as I am. For those of you who want to snatch away the slightly discounted few of those, you can do that. Otherwise, you can wait until later in July. And I will do an update on my Insta, AlyonaCreates, to tell you when they're coming to my shop, and also a little play video here on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm super excited about this launch, and I will see you soon.